Hello, this is Dave Scott on the free radio service Holland, 40 years on Shortwave. From 40 down to 33 in the FRS Holland top 40 of all time. At 40 it was Madness, Nightboat to Cairo. At 39 Curtis Mayfield, We've Got to Have Peace. Zion Warwick and the Detroit Spinners. Then Came You was at 38, and at 37 it was the Kane Gang. Don't look any further. At 36 it was Split Sing and Vind and Zylan. Amy Stewart at 35 and Friends, and at 34 ABC and The Look of Love. And at 33 it was the Beatles. All You Need Is Love. I'll be counting you down from number 32 to 25. And at 32, it's an all-time classic from Deep Purple and Smoke on the Water from 1972. This was the first track played on the Free Radio Service Holland's first official broadcast in August the 30th. 1980. It was Barry Stevens who chose the song to open his show. Barry played a very important role in the early days of the Free Radio Service Holland by sharing his technical experience he gained from running his own shortwave station, European Music Radio. After Barry was raided during a field broadcast in October 1980, it was Free Radio Service Holland who relayed EMR in the following couple of years. On the Free Radio Service Holland on our 40th anniversary broadcast. My goodness me, what an achievement. And the next one is from Franco Baroni from Bergamo in Italy. He doesn't remember exactly when he started listening to that. And in just a few seconds time we'll find out what is number 31 in the Free Radio Service Holland top 40 of all time.
The Free Radio Service Holland concept takes 2 months.
And an absolute classic of number 31 in the FRS Holland top 40 of all time. Joe Cocker, with a little help from their friends from 1969. As did the Free Radio Service Holland and European Music Radio had helped each other whenever necessary. FRS was also able to rely on the support by many of them, particularly in difficult times, like after the raid in January 1983. Without them offering airtime, it would have been impossible to continue. And who knows, FRS might have closed down altogether way back then. So thank you so much to everybody for their great support, past and present. And that is the number 30 on the Free Radio Service Holland. Absolutely amazing.
The Free Radio Service Holland.
The last broadcast in just a few minutes time. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Back to the Free Radio Service Holland top 40 of all time. And coming in at 29, it's the Stranglers and the Crackers. No More Heroes, a great 1977. Whatever happened to the heroes? Not just a question raised by the Stranglers. So many good stations from the golden days of free radio in the 70s and 80s have left the scene. Where are they now? Well, I'm still here. I started on Radio Apollo back in 1982, my goodness me. Some are sadly no longer with us, dead but not forgotten. Remembering people like Norman Nelson at Radio East Coast Commercial, or Johnny O'Brien and Hardy at Radio Valentine. And also here at FRS we've lost a few of the crew. Eustace Day, Chris Gerd, and of course Tom Taylor, better known as Barry Stevens, sadly no longer with us. But the Free Radio Service Holland wants to stay on air as long as there is somebody tuning in. And on a personal level, I must just mention Chris Watson from Radio Geronimo Shortwave and Radio 48, who sadly we lost in the long too distant past as well. A really strong supporter of free radio and a great free radio operator as well. At 29 in the Free Radio Service Holland chart of all time in the top 40, it is the Stranglers and No More Heroes.
It all started back in 1980. It's now more than 40 years later, and the story still continues. FRS Holland, free radio on shortwave, a balance between music and information. Tune in and enjoy.
You're listening to the Free Radio Service Holland. It's our 40th birthday broadcast, and we're counting down the top 40 of the best 40 songs associated with the Free Radio Service Holland. 29, the classic from the Spaniards, and No More Heroes.
This is the FRS 40th Anniversary On-Air Celebration.
And in our last broadcast, we had a little bit of a competition to celebrate our 200th broadcast back on the August the 30th of 2020. And the question was, how many different frequencies have been used by the Free Radio Service Holland over these 40 years? The answer was more than 45. Can you believe that? The winner is Thomas Becker from Bonn in Germany. Congratulations to you, Thomas. Well done, sir. And Peter should have been in touch with you with details about your prize. Don't forget to this special 40th birthday broadcast for the Free Radio Service Holland. We will have a very special QSL card available. And listeners who make use of the PO Box 2702 address, sending in your reception report.
Communicating with you on shortwave for more than 40 years. This is the Free Radio Service Holland.
This is Dick Johnson, ex of Radio Focus International, wishing everybody associated with and all the listeners a very Radio Service Holland. Have a wonderful New Year and a nice Christmas, and hopefully we'll all be together again next year.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Number 28, it is a classic track from U2, and I Will Follow from 1980. What a great track this is. A couple of reception reports which came in following your last broadcast on the 30th of August. Peter Roberts in Camberley in Surrey. Hello to you, Peter. Received us on 5790. Around 1815 UTC on his Icon R71A for E, and his antenna on 88-foot doublet at 28 feet above the ground. Reception was good at the time, which is great to hear. Thank you, Peter. And here's one all the way from Japan. In Haparanda in Sweden. And this comes from Shin Makino from Saitama in Japan. Notice on the 30th of August, 1915 UTC 7700 kilohertz. Gives us a SIMPO of 35. And congratulates us on our 200th birthday as well. 200th broadcast of the time. Not our 200th birthday. We're not that old. That will be going some, wouldn't it, eh? Thank you very much, Shin Makino from Japan. Very much appreciated. We'll do some more of your reception reports in just a few seconds' time. Keep those reception reports and those letters coming in, because as long as you're listening, we'll keep on broadcasting.
40 years of FRS Holland on shortwave.
And so we are back into the Free Radio Service Holland top 40 of all time.
Of course, some more information about the race which happened 2 weeks ago. FRS Holland was rated after the programs, after their transmission. And of course that's the reason most people do not know anything about this rate. Once again, the rate is the work, of course, from the Dutch PTT in cooperation with the German Bundespost. They said FRS Holland was on a aircraft channel, and they also said FRS H has jammed an aircraft channel. But if FRS Holland was seriously jamming, we would never have been transmitting for more than 2 years on that particular 7315 frequency. FRS Holland was probably a thorn in the flesh of the German Bundespost. FRS Holland with a strong signal in Germany and an enormous support from West German listeners. We think the Dutch PTT found it as a duty to comply with the so-called German complaint every week on those channels. also splattering on 7315 with their strong signals. Average Holland only 4 hours each month with 10 watts. 10 watts. Maybe now you can imagine why we take that jam story not serious.
You want us to stay on the air, then write to the Free Radio Service Holland. Write to the Free Radio Service Holland. Shortwave, this is the Free Radio Service Holland.
2020, 4 decades on shortwave. This is the Everett Holland Top 40. You want some more? You get some more. 2 more hours to go on the Free Radio Service Holland. July 27th, 1980. I will be doing the first record numbers 40 until 33, and then Mike Taylor, Peter Verworgen, and Jen van Dijk, all the guys will be there to celebrate 40 years of Holland. Okay, after number 30 is in the top 40, and that's Curtis Mayfield, with a song played a lot on for example by Joop Tervee, but also by Peter Verworgen. Here's Curtis Mayfield on the Free Radio Service. The song is called We Got to Have Peace. Radio Service Holland.
We gotta have peace.
Hey You, what a nice song from 1973. The Young Warwick and the Tennis. Then Came You, it was one of the records played in the last Musical Express presented by Fred Sonnet. Somewhere in 1982, and later I took over that program in 1983. Remember this tune? Radio Mi Amigo Top 50 tune used in 1975 and 1976 when the program was presented by Peter van Dam. I thought it would be nice to have some old Top 40 or Top 50 tunes in the background of the various items today. Bring back memories to old sharp shows on the various radio stations. Let's open our mailbox and let's see who responded to our broadcast from August. Hallo, Etienne Sertijn in Sint-Niklaas in België. Bedankt voor het schrijven naar de Free Radio Service Holland. Leuke hobby's heb je, Etienne. Fietsen, wandelen, naar de voetbal gaan en ook regelmatig naar de kroeg. Nou, die hobby die delen we dan. Als het mogelijk is tenminste, want dat was de laatste maand ook een beetje moeilijk af en toe. Maar bedankt voor het schrijven, Etienne. En blijf luisteren naar de Free Radio Service Holland. Frank Basté of Frank Bass of Frank Baste, nee, Frank Baste from Saint-Bonnet de Rochefort in France. Thank you for listening, and you have been listening since 1981. Wow, keep listening to the Free Radio Service Holland. You only missed 1 year, Frank. Next mail is from Russia. Dmitry Kutuzov from Rayastan in Russia. Thank you for listening to the Free Radio Service Holland. You listen to on the Custom PL660 receiver with the outdoor 10-meter long wire. Thank you for listening, Dmitry. Martin Schur from Eisenach in Germany. Thank you for listening to the Free Radio Service Holland. Nice to see that after 40 years your station is very active. Well, we are very active and we hope to stay very active for the coming years. Don't know if it will be 40 again, but we'll give it a try, okay? Harold Kuhl from Göttingen in Germany. Thank you for listening to the Free Radio Service Holland. My receiver on that evening of the 30th of August was an ICOM IC775 DSP. And the antenna used was a 40-meter long antenna. Mail from Harold in Göttingen in Germany. Also greetings to Davide Tambucchi in Como in Italy. Thank you for listening, Davide, and keep listening to the Free Radio Service Holland.
You listened on the 30th of August, read signal on 7700, and you were not sure that it was us, but later the reception got better, and well, of course you noticed this must be the free radio service. Thank you for listening to our program of the 30th of August, David. And well, that's about it for now. Keep listening to the free radio service Holland, and let's continue with our top 40. It all started in August 1980. 4 decades later, you're tuned to FRS Holland, celebrating over 4 decades of music and information on shortwave. Goedemiddag, luisteraars van de FRS Holland. Good afternoon, listeners from Free Radio Service Holland. Und hallo und schönen guten Tag. Stefan Kramer ist auch mal wieder reingeschneit hier ins Studio. Und ich habe gehört, Bertha Lehr ist 40 geworden. Hey, wie? Was? Ach so, der FRS Holland ist 40 geworden. Das ist natürlich ein 40 Jahre freies Radio. Das hat wirklich noch selten eine Radiostation gebracht. Und das ist natürlich absoluter Grund, zurückzuschauen in die Geschichte des FRS Holland. Und eine musikalische Beisteuer, nämlich einen Song aus meiner allerersten Stefan Kramer Show. Das war Anfang der 90er hier, da war ich der Nachfolger von Johnny Bass, beziehungsweise wir haben uns gemeinsam abgewechselt. Mehrlich from Germany also sent us a nice participation form. Thank you. We live in Holland in Germany. This is the first time August the 21st, 2016. And is still listening nowadays. I still enjoy listening to the free radio service. I don't always write a report, but I do listen to every broadcast. I live mainly in Hungary, but I am German. I also heard my first FRS Holland broadcast on the 21st of August 2016 in Hungary. At the moment I am from Horst. Hi Horst, thank you for writing in and keep listening to the free radio service Holland. Okay, last one from now, and then we have one more later on, but that's an MP3 file. 4 decades. FRS Holland. Je moet de inkorten, want anders dan zouden we over de tijd heen gaan. WOLD van Harry Jacobs. Hier met de rest van de top 40 en de laatste bijdrage in dit programma is van Henk uit Dokkum. We gaan luisteren naar zijn participatiebijdrage.
Hello, my name is Henk and here are my 2 answers on question 1. I am thinking that I'm sure it must be in the 41 meter band. That's the band where I mostly listen to pirates. The stations names like Koraalvisser, Jan Rad and Titanic on 7290. If I can remember, I remember you, so at that time I listened to every day. I think around 1981 or 82, I'm not sure. Then I listened to the info about shortwave, mediumwave, FM pirates, and offshore stations. In the program, Everest goes DX.
40 years of FRS Holland on shortwave.
FRS Holland. Broadcasting from the heart of Europe. This is FRS Holland. Another hour of shortwave power. More of the best music and up-to-date radio information on your quality shortwave station, FRS Holland. It's more than just a big difference.
Hello there, this is Dave Scott on the free radio service Holland, 40 years on shortwave. Reprising Bert Van Leer from 40 down to 33 in the FRS Holland top 40 of all time. At 40 it was Madness, now go to Cairo. It was Barry Stevens who chose the song to open his show. Barry played a very important role in the early days of the free radio service Holland by sharing his technical experience he gained from running his own shortwave station, European Music Radio. After Barry was raided during the field broadcast in October 1980, it was free radio service Holland who relayed EMR in the following couple of years. The classic from 72, from Deep Purple and Smoke on the Water. What a great track. Hello, this is Dave Scott on the free radio service Holland on our 40th anniversary broadcast. My goodness me, what an achievement. For just over 10 years, but I say tell you what, it's an absolute privilege to be part of Europe's and possibly even the world's premier shortwave free radio station. And over the next, 53 minutes, what's left of my stint on the broadcast today, we'll be counting it right down to number 25 on the free radio service, Holland top 40 of all time, and also taking a look at quite a lot of your letters and also your participation forms that you very kindly contributed to this broadcast as well. And also we'll be taking a trip back to August of 1980. Radio Service Holland, and our archive soundbite today takes a look at the FRS Golden Show with the legendary Mr. Joep de Zee as well. That's going to be just amazing. Participation forms, loads of them to get through. The first one is Ian Cameron in Gourock in Scotland. Hello to you, Ian.
Free music and information joined to one format. The free radio service Holland concept tastes different. Just a bit different.
Number 31 in the FRS Holland top 40 of all time. Joe Cocker, with a little help from my friends, from 1969. Legendary Joe Cocker at 31 in the free radio service Holland top 40 of all time, with a little help from my friends. What a great track. Dave Scott on the free radio service Holland's 40th birthday broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got repeats of this program on the internet as well, and more details about that can be found on our website at frsholland.nl. We'll be back in the part of number 30 in just a few seconds time. Also still to come, we'll give you the competition winner from our August broadcast and also tell you about our special QSLs as well, and we'll be taking a look at some more of your participation forms that you kindly filled out for this broadcast and some of your reception reports that have come in as well after our last broadcast. Now then, it's time for an archive soundbite. Through the broadcast today, we're playing some recordings from the very first broadcast of the free radio service Holland way back in August of 1980. And this time, it is the legendary Mr. Joep de Zee and the FRS Golden Show from the 31st of August, 1980.
FRS goes back in time. This is a flashback.
En welkom bij de eerste echte uitzending van de Free Radio Service Holland. Dit is de FRS Golden Show.
It certainly does. We're always just a little bit different.
More than 40 years of music and information. This is the Free Radio Service Holland.
And we're back into the free radio service Holland top 40 of all time, and at 30 it's Genesis, one of my favourite bands of all time. I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe, a classic from 1973. This was a song played by Paul Graham in the FRS Golden Show of November 2008, which ended the longest pause in the free radio service Holland's history, over 300 days without a single transmission. The track was quite proggy in terms of Paul, who was usually more into 1960s oldies. He worked with FRSH from 2002 to 2015. In fact, he was the only FRS Holland presenter who'd been directly involved with offshore radio, as he joined Radio Caroline on the Rush Revenge back in 1987. By the way, Paul Graham is still active in Radio Land with his weekly shows for Radio Mi Amigo International. I always think of Peter Gabriel doing it live on stage, dressed up like a scarecrow, pushing an imaginary lawnmower across the stage. Quite incredible. Genesis at number 30, I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe from 1973. And what is at number 30 on the free radio service Holland favorite tracks of all time? listener participation forms. Thank you so much for doing these. We're asking people when you first heard FRSH and now you're still listening. The next one is from Gurdip Gill, our good old friend from Wolverhampton in England. Hello to you, Gurdip. First heard free radio service Holland back in November of 1984. Les Ward, good old mate of the show. Hello to you, Les. And we'll take a look at some of your reception reports that have come in following our last broadcast in just a few minutes' time. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Back to the free radio service on top 40 of all time. And coming in at 29, it's the Stranglers and the classic No More Heroes, a great track from 1977. Whatever happened to the Heroes? Well, it's not just a question raised by the Stranglers. So many good stations from the golden days of free radio in the 70s and 80s have left the scene. Where are they now? Well, I'm still here. I started on Radio Apollo back in 1982, my goodness me. Some are sadly no longer with us, dead but not forgotten. Remembering people like Norman Nelson of Radio East Coast Commercial, or Johnny O'Brien and Hardy of Radio Valentine. And also here at FRS, we've lost a few of the crew, Hugh Dezay, Chris, Gerd, and of course Tom Taylor, better known as Barry Stevens, sadly no longer with us. But the free radio service Holland wants to stay on air as long as there is somebody tuning in. And on a personal level, I must just mention Chris Watson from Radio Geronimo Shortwave and Radio 48, who sadly we lost in the lot too distant past as well. A really long-term supporter of free radio and a great free radio operator as well. At 29 in the free radio service Holland chart of all time in the top 40, it is the Stranglers, No More Heroes.
It all started back in 1980. It's now more than 40 years later, and the story still continues. FRS Holland. Free radio on shortwave. A balance between music and information. Tune in and enjoy.
You're listening to the free radio service Holland. It's our 40th birthday broadcast, and we're counting down the top 40 of the best 40 songs associated with the free radio service Holland, and that one was at number 29, a classic from the Stranglers and No More Heroes.
This is the FRS 40th anniversary on-air celebration.
And in our last broadcast, we had a little bit of a competition to celebrate our 200th back on the August the 30th of 2020. And the question was how many different frequencies have been used by the free radio service Holland over these 40 years. The answer was more than 45. Can you believe that? The winner is Thomas Becker from Bonn in Germany. Congratulations to you, Thomas. Well done, sir. And Peter should have been in touch with you with details about your prize already by now. I would have thought so. Special 40th birthday broadcast of the free radio service Holland, we will have a very special QSL card available. And listeners who make use of the PO Box 2702 address, sending in your reception report letter by post, will receive your souvenir booklet. This will include a listing of the full top 40, including remarks of why each track was chosen. It will also include a number of facts and figures about the free radio service Holland, which were compiled for the August the 30th 200th broadcast, plus some interesting stories as well. Special QSL on heavy 200 grams paper. And don't forget, for that reply we need €5 this time, or $5 for paper return postage, but it will be worthwhile. It's a piece of radio history. Absolutely amazing.
Communicating with you on shortwave for more than 40 years. This is the free radio service Holland.
This is Dick Johnson, ex of Radio Focus International, wishing everybody associated with and all the listeners a very happy 40th anniversary for Free Radio Service Holland. Have a wonderful New Year and a nice Christmas, and hopefully we'll all be together again next year.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Free Radio Service Holland Top 40, number 28.
At number 28, it is a classic track from U2, and I Will Follow from 1980. What a great track this is. And this was the opening track of the first edition of Sounds Alternative back in August of 1982, the show that Youth today is best remembered for, with his very own style of presenting the latest new wave and rock music. Besides, Youth was also a sound magician with plenty of jingles and promos that he mixed in his bedroom studio during the early days of the Free Radio Service Holland.
Ultimate Challenge 2020, 40 years of FRS Holland on Shortwave.
Still two tracks from me to squeeze in before I disappear off today, as we count you down to 25. Top 40 of all time. It is the classic from Bob Seger and the track Rosalie from 1973. And there were many more DJs with more than one identity. Remember Tony Mitchell, who hosted his shows between 1992 and 1996. But from 1987 to 91, the same voice belonged to a certain Mark Stafford, who many will know from his own station, Atlanta Radio. Of course, nowadays his weekly show, Stafford's World. But why did he change his name? Well, apparently it was because of a new legislation in the UK that came into effect and supporters. But in the end, it turned out to be much ado about nothing. Bob Seger's track, Rosalie, by the way, was the opening track of the Tony Mitchell show back in 1992. What a classic track it is as well. Coming in at 26 on the Free Radio Service Holland Top 40 of all time. For Bob Seger and Rosalie. Absolutely wonderful. And we'll find out which track is made it to number 25 in just a few seconds' time.
Celebrating 40 years of shortwave broadcasting, FRS is ready with a special Top 40. A dive in the FRS history, extracts from the opening day, your contributions, and much, much more. Any P.O. Box 2702 letter and report will be verified with a special QSL card, our 40th anniversary souvenir booklet, and a CD. Please enclose €5 or $5. The FRS Holland concept still tastes different, just a bit different.
And at number 25 in the Free Radio Service Holland Top 40 of all time is Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the classic Can't Evil, number 9, the First Impression Part 2 from 1974. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. These lyrics are from another classic song in Free Radio, which in fact is a show that has not come to an end so far despite of raids, poor conditions, technical problems, you name it. The track was the built-in Johnny Best debut show for FRS Holland back in April of 1980. Johnny, or JB to our knowledge, is the only one of the German presenters who permanently settled in professional radio. Not in Germany, but actually in Austria. And not behind the mic, but behind the scenes. Hey, why are we not being paid for doing all this? Well, we just do it for the love, do we not? At 25 in the FRS Holland Top 40 of all time, it's ELP and Carnival, number 9.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.